It is by love that all of us grow. I'm reminded of a story from Argentina. There was a little boy who was beaten and molested by his own father, that the hospital had to come and save him. When he came into the hospital, he was so beaten up and bruised, bones were broken, organs didn't function, that the doctors gave him maybe 2 more weeks to live. He was in deep coma. There was one nurse who heard about him and who decided to not accept this. She came every day to the bed of the little boy, bent over him and said the 3 words, "I love you." The boy was in coma. The doctor said, "We have to accept that some patients die." But the nurse continued to repeat the 3 words. Fast forward. The boy is now totally healthy. He is all right. I do not know if he is with his old parents. I don't think so. But he is functioning well because of the 3 words. In the Upanishads, it is said that every human being has only 2 needs: to be loved and to express his love. Now imagine we would experience a love which is unlimited, a love which is so full of compassion, a love that extends beyond all our differences, a love which expands even beyond our own birth and death, a divine love. How much would such a divine love empower our souls? It's unimaginable. And this is exactly what Bhakti is all about. It's a divine exchange of love, a circle of love. On our sides, 2 things are there so that Bhakti unfolds its whole potency. They are simple. One is to turn to the Supreme, and the second is to make an offering. And this is spoken about by Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a fruit, a flower, and some water, I will accept this. It sounds so simple, but it is so very profound. Because, and that's a reason to celebrate, this is something which is already there. It is not something that needs to be imported from somewhere. The divine love, or the potential for divine love, resides in each one of us. And when we just unfold it, there will be a divine reciprocation, a help, a pulling force which pulls us beyond our own weaknesses. These 3 divine investments are known to every Bhakti yogi. First of all, it is devotion. Then it is a direct experience, not a theoretical knowing, but an experience of the Lord's presence in one life, His qualities like compassion, mercy, endless beauty also. And finally, the third investment is that one becomes free from the bondage of harmful attachments. The Bhakti tradition places a lot of value of making things very clear, and therefore it gives one example, the example of eating. When you eat after you really are hungry for the food, you will have three experiences. The first experience is pleasure. The second experience is nourishment. And the third thing which happens when you eat and eat and eat is relief from hunger. So in the same way, the soul needs pleasure, it needs joy, it looks for this. And that is the first installment which happens in Bhakti. It's a divine investment, it comes from above. The second is, yes, this divine experience. And finally, yes, you become free from this binding force of material attachments. So it is very simple what we can do in the beginning stages of Bhakti. Turn to the Supreme and then offer something with devotion. It can be something like a fruit or a leaf or water on a home altar, or it can also be something like a meditation, a prayer, even a discussion, a dialogue. All these things will help you to experience the rise of Bhakti within.